I think above all, I value equality and sharing. I think that when we make any kind of judgment or any kind of idea about a person, it's important to take into account that every person is an entire world.
I value freedom of expression. A couple of years ago, I was deeply impacted by a quote that I heard by Friedrich Nietzsche. He once said that I could only believe in a God who knows how to dance. And what I took from that was everybody has their own version of happiness. Everybody has their own version of making each day valuable. And, you know, we are all gods who dance. And I think we need to find that version of ourselves that we can love and care for every single day, and to make ourselves better people.
My family. I value my mom because she's given up a lot emotionally, physically, and mentally to make sure that my siblings and I were able to achieve in life and be as successful as we are.
I value selflessness.
Stability. I feel like we're living in a world where everything is all constantly going and we're all over the place, and the one thing that I personally lack in my life and I'm always striving for is stability. As a science major, I have to work with like a lot of equations, and the one thing I love having in equations is constants because they make things really easy to solve. So in my life, I like to have constants of whether it's friendships, the IC, my family, and everything else that's thrown at me in this crazy city feels a lot more manageable when I have the stability in my life.
Solidarity. I mean, the world is hurting. We need more of that. Whether it's just because people have been, you know, separated over arbitrary border lines or race lines or something as random as gender and sex, we just need to, as cliche as it sounds, come together. And the reason it's cliche is because it's true and people have been crying out for it for forever.
I value freedom and opportunity. Having grown up in post-apartheid South Africa with parents who did not have either of those luxuries and worked very hard despite that.
Of why I would help somebody that would never be able to repay me, because every person is a world, and that one thing that you do for somebody is affecting every other person in their life and so many more lives than just that one. And I think as a person who's connected to my friends and my family and the world around me, I can only wish that for somebody else, so that's why.
I would like to help someone because everyone in this world deserves a helping hand. Nobody can take on the world themselves, and judging by repayment is not some way to live.
I believe that helping someone who can't repay you, it's about just being there for your community. One day, if you need help, I'd hope that someone would help you, even if they didn't know you. An act of being selfless is just doing what's right, even if it's not what's best for you, it's best for the entire community.
Ever since I got to NYU, there's a lot of people starting from college, a bunch of seniors, all these people who walked into my life, and at a time where I needed them, like someone the most, they were there and they were able to help me. And I think that has changed me a lot throughout the years because it's let me identify with certain hardships. And I think when you're able to identify that and pass that along, there's going to be a time where you're going to need that as well. You're going to need the support, you're going to need that help, and I think it's always great to pay it forward. And I know sometimes that might sound like cliche, but you really never know. There might be a time where you're desperate and you need for help, and maybe you might need someone to smile at you, or you might need $1, or like whatever the thing may be, and someone pays it forward. You're just being proactive at it, and I think that's just a great way to live.
The reason why I would help somebody in not knowing that they would not repay me back, or if they would not pay me back, is because I'm not the authority on the value of other people's lives. I can only put value on my own life, and I would like to think that other people would value their lives the same way that I value mine, if not more. So, you know, doing something kind for somebody else only perpetuates this idea that we should live each day in order to make ourselves better people.
Why should you help somebody? Because despite the fact that the world is filled with multiple finite resources, kindness is not one of them.
Help someone who could never pay me back just because it's fulfilling and they seem a lot closer than they are, especially in this day and age where if we are helping someone in Gaza or in Palestine, they seem far away distance-wise, but it gives you a sense of closeness to that person.
I believe in equality.
I believe in humanity.
I believe in unity.
I believe in love.
I believe in a future that is driven by young people, a future that's innovative and a future that's selfless.
I believe the world will